That's when it begins if you're a Johnson. I'll remember my wedding day, and he gave a toast to my wife and I that just surprised us and warmed our hearts. I really remember his smile because that's really all you ever saw from him. I can't remember him being upset with me. I can't remember him raising his voice. I just remember his laughs. There was the chuckle, there was the ho ho ho, and then there was the belly laughs. He was always there for words of encouragement, of advice, of support, whatever I needed him, he was there to give. I'll remember the hugs, the giant bear hugs at the end of the day. They would just soothe your soul. But most of all, I'll remember his love and the love he gave to his family and his friends. I think we're all here today because he gave that love so unconditionally and with such joy that we just had to get at least some of it back, if only for a few moments. Life is unending because love is undying. And I think that more than anything is my grandpa's story.
My name is Kara. I am Terry's granddaughter. I'm representing my dad today. He's Keith. He was unable to come down from Tucson. And also my brother, Kyle Johnson, who's up in Alaska right now. So my dad wrote a eulogy, so I'm going to read it out loud. It's in loving memory, Dad. First and foremost, I would like to thank all of you for coming here to celebrate Dad's life and bid a fond farewell to a great, kind, and loving man. Some of the things I will miss the most of Dad: his rascalness, his love of his meals served on a hot plate, our sleepovers, the holidays, watching him dance, his love of my cooking, especially the beer battered halibut, and so much more. I was blessed to have the opportunity to spend these last 6 years with Dad, as I had missed so many while living in Alaska and Arizona. When I first started thinking about what I wanted to say at this eulogy, Corinthians 13, 4-8 kept popping into my head. All three kids probably had this verse in our wedding vows, but when I thought about our Father's love, Dad, he truly lived by these principles. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud, it is not rude. It is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. Love never fails. This was Dad. He lived by these verses not just to his family, but to everyone he knew. He always put others before himself. His love never failed through his 88 years. Dad's sharing of love was his most beautiful blessing, and those memories of love will never cease. Instead, they will live on, filling our hearts with encouragement, comfort, and peace. It is said that death is not the end of life, but the fulfillment of life. God worked a divine grace into our lives through Dad's loving heart, and that love will always be within all of us after his love, as his love never fails. Thank you. I'll share a story in a little bit, but does anybody have any stories they'd like to share about Grandpa, Terry? You can come on up if you'd like to share a story or memory. I'll share a quick one. So being the only granddaughter, when I used to come out, which we lived in Alaska, so we didn't get to come out as much. We probably came out 3 times a year or so. But when I come out, Grandma would say, let's go shopping, because I was the only granddaughter, so she'd be, Grandpa. So we'd go and we'd be gone for hours, we'd go shopping, we'd pick out all these outfits. And I'd come back, and my favorite part was probably always Grandpa would be waiting for us. Hi-ho, you guys are back. And he's like, you guys are gone a long time. But it was always fun because he'd be sitting there and Grandma would be like, well, you know, sorry. She'd be like, go try on your new clothes for Grandpa. Show him, you know, what you got. And it was always special because he probably did not enjoy sitting there as I tried on all these outfits, but he was so patient. It just made me feel so special. So that was one of my favorite things.
Would anybody else like to say anything?
They're passing the tissue box.
Sorry, I do have one more quick one. So I was thinking about it. So he was funny, but a couple years ago when he moved down to Tucson, I didn't get to see him as much as I'd like, which is something I totally regret. But when we saw him a couple years ago, or when I saw him, one of the times I saw him, he said, "So, do you have a boat?" And I said, "No, Grandpa. I'm focused on work right now, and I'm a single mom. I got to raise my son." And he goes, "Well, you should really look into Match.com for great things." I always thought it was funny because I was like, that is a commercial moment right there. He was just